Weak boy gains the power of the sun, becoming the strongest swordsman. Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to slash that subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, following our protagonist, Tanjiro Kamado, we see him head back from gathering coal, intending to sell them, and create a feast for the family, on New Year's. His mother asks him not to push himself, but he reassures her and his siblings he'll be fine, heading off to a nearby village. Strolling through the village, Tanjiro uses his amazing sense of smell to help solve a mystery, whilst selling and assisting with other village members. With the sun setting, Tanjiro is ecstatic, having sold all his coal, heading back for the night. Suddenly he's stopped by a villager, demanding that Tanjiro stay the night. Questioning why, Tanjiro learns that there are demons that hunt humans, and that there are demon hunters, and they appear during the night. Unable to refuse, Tanjiro accepts the villager's kind hospitality, drifting off, thinking about how grandmother said there are no such things as demons. The next morning, Tanjiro smells blood, running back to his home. Mortified at his mother's bloodied corpse, Tanjiro checks on the others, only to realize that they've all been attacked. With Nezuko as the lone survivor, Tanjiro treads through the snowy forest, with the still warm Nezuko on his back. Demanding that his feet move faster, Tanjiro is thrown off a hill, when Nezuko becomes sporadic on his back. Laying on some snow, Tanjiro sits up, searching for Nezuko, only to realize she has become a demon. Saddened at how much pain she must be going through, Tanjiro attempts to talk her out of her frenzied rage, noticing her shedding tears upon hearing his words. Suddenly, a slayer slashes at Nezuko, forcing Tanjiro to pull her away. Questioning why Tanjiro had saved a demon, the slayer learns that she is Tanjiro's sister, but overall is still a. Grabbing Nezuko, the slayer reveals that demons are killed when they are decapitated, and that Nezuko was most likely exposed to another demon's blood, forcing her to become one herself. Knowing that demons hunt humans, the slayer knows it would be best to kill Nezuko, as there is no possible way to revert her back to being human. Tanjiro begins to beg the slayer to spare his sister, which only infuriates the hunter, as he doesn't like to see Tanjiro plead for survival, instead he should take it. Challenging Tanjiro to a duel, for Nezuko's life, Tanjiro dashes into the trees, keeping his eye on the slayer. Concealing his axe, Tanjiro charges head-on at the slayer, only to be knocked out in a single blow. Focusing his attention on Nezuko, the slayer is barely able to dodge Tanjiro's axe, realizing that Tanjiro had thrown it into the air, before attacking, intending to take out his opponent even if it meant trading his own life. Seeing her brother unconscious, Nezuko runs to Tanjiro's side, shocking the slayer, as a demon is protecting a human. Fending of Nezuko's slashes, the slayer knocks out Nezuko, allowing the two to rest. When the two wake up, the slayer instructs the two to meet Sakonji Yorokodaki, who lives at the foot of Mount Sagiri, and to never let Nezuko near the sun. Parting ways, the two head towards the mountains. Stopped by some farmers, Tanjiro acquires a straw basket, returning to a cave, where Nezuko is currently hiding. Beckoning her to enter the basket, Tanjiro is impressed, noting that Nezuko shrank herself to fit. Continuing their trek through the forest, Tanjiro begins to smell blood, rushing up the stairs, leading to a temple. Upon entering the temple, Tanjiro is stiffened witnessing a demon, devouring the flesh of a deceased human. Drawing the demon's attention, Tanjiro is able to slash its neck, as it pounces on Tanjiro. Back with Nezuko, we see her fixated on the human corpse, but fights the urge, realizing that Tanjiro is in a life-of-death situation. Having pinned down Tanjiro, the demon attempts to bite Tanjiro, but gets its head kicked off by Nezuko. As the body attacks Nezuko, the head sprouts arms, scuttering onto Tanjiro. Realizing that his sister is at a disadvantage, Tanjiro chooses to ditch his axe, and pin the demon's head, if it means that he helps Nezuko. Rushing to a nearby cliff, Tanjiro tackles the body off the cliff, being saved at the last minute by Nezuko. Returning to the head, Tanjiro is frightened to end a life, wondering what would be the best course of action. Suddenly a masked man appears behind him, stating that Tanjiro's small blade will not be able to kill the demon. Opting for a rock, Tanjiro continues to hesitate, which the old man immediately picks up, as Tanjiro is too kind, even feeling remorse for the vicious creature. Luckily, the sun begins to rise, which instantly disintegrates the demon, shocking Tanjiro, as he searches for Nezuko. Happy to see that Nezuko is well hidden, Tanjiro heads back outside, noting that the masked man had buried the people who had been killed. Introducing himself as Sakanji, Sakanji questions what Tanjiro would do if his sister were to attack him. Hesitating, Sakanji slaps him, stating that Tanjiro is too soft, and it's his inability to make quick and precise decisions that will get him killed. Having taught Tanjiro a valuable lesson, Sakanji demands Tanjiro follow after him. Swiftly running through a wheat farm, Tanjiro is shocked to see the old man's silent but swift footwork, pushing through knowing that his family is probably watching. Having made it to the old man's hut, Tanjiro is instructed to leave Nezuko here, and follow the old man up a mountain. Exhausted and dizzy, Tanjiro follows after Sakanji, telling Tanjiro to return to the hut before sundown. Sakanji vanishes, leaving Tanjiro alone. Attempting to retrace his steps, Tanjiro gets lost in the fog, whilst tripping and falling over several traps laid out in the forest. Calming his mind, and relying on his sense of smell, Tanjiro is able to evade the traps, making his way down the mountain. Having returned to the hut, Sakanji recounts a letter from the Slayer, having sensed something in Nezuko and Tanjiro. The Slayer's name is Giyu Tomioka. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like and comment.